Welcome back. Welcome to session 8. Here is a piece of announcement about the change in the schedule. And it is due to some emergency situation happened to one of our resource person. So we'll have an exit test and feedback during session 14 on 17th of September, Friday, and during session 15. That means in the afternoon session, we'll be having a session on stress management by Dr. Major Sudesh S. Nair. The certificates will be issued to those participants who have 80% of attendance and 60% marks in the end test. Doing exercises uploaded in the Pathshala will be considered as attendance for those who have any problems in attending classes. Sreekant sir?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm here.
Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, we can start. I think it is audible, right?
So I welcome Sreekant sir. Yes, sir, you are. So I welcome Dr. Sreekant sir for the next session. Over to you, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, again, this time what is our plan is regarding, how to, I think, let me check. Yeah, our plan is all about, how to deal with, as of now, we are familiar with the concepts of user upload, user management, etc. The different roles also we have discussed. So now what we needed is actually sometimes it may be a requirement for us to group the people based on certain activities. So the next thing what we are planning to discuss is grouping of the enrolled participants. So just wanted to make it clear at this point in time that once we are trying to group, right? So once we are trying to group someone, it will be working based on the course. It is not at the system level. So grouping can be applied to a course, not to the system. But if you wanted to create, right, if you are confused with the cohort and the thing what we are discussing on grouping or group, it is group is all about course level grouping. Cohort is system level grouping, right? In case if we have 10 courses, more 10 in the semester we have 6 courses, right? Cohort can be synced with that particular 6 courses. But if you have a group in one course, it will be available within that particular course, not to the next course which is there, right? So this is the way, this is the concept of cohort or difference between our cohort and grouping, right? So yeah, by meantime, let me say that somebody is it possible to download the PDF version of the exercise material shared in Pathshala, so that even after the course we can have the access to the same. I think we have 1 month access, 3 month access, right? So probably yeah, I think Ashwini will update on the same. So another question is it necessary to use the same name as not at all, right? So create your right. This is actually a trial and error a case, SV sir. Especially you can try it out as based on your requirement and at your pace, right? Not at all necessary. Yeah, Ashwini has already answered the same. Thank you. So that is the plan. That is the plan of creating the group. Then so let us see whether how to create the group, what are the concepts of grouping. All those details we can discuss in detail. So yeah, 1 second. I think the screen is visible now. Let us take the course, right? It is fundamentals of Python programming, right? What you can do is you can add, you can go to the more option, right? Then select users tab. Inside a users tab, you can see the group option. So a group option doesn't, right? So this is related to the members of existing codes, right? So what we can do is we can create a group here. All right, say create a group based on certain categories, right? Let us assume that somebody in this group, or this is actually our maths group, right? So somebody in that group is interested to learn electronics, right? In that case, we can have uh, a group here, which is electronics, right? Electronics group. I'm just mentioning it as E01. You can use the same if you wanted to. What say for the to assure the reusability or the user manual perspective. Probably you can add right and maybe the description over here. I'm just leaving this as with the E01 itself. Right, if you wanted to have an enrollment key, group messaging, right? So all those details are default. We'll discuss it later during message time and all. Right now, you can save the changes. Simply now we can what we have is actually what we have the electronics group here. What we are going to do is we are just going to, what I did is actually this is the group, this is the members, available members over here. What we are going to do is electronics group is here. We are just going to create one more group. It is the people, those who all are interested in learning something else, right? If it is say Python, again it is IoT. If it is IoT, Internet of Things, they are interested in IoT, right? Um, IoT kind of thing, right? We are just using IoT over here, and we are just going to create another group here called as IoT. Now it says that both the groups does not have any members, because 0 is indicates that there are no members in that particular group. So what we are going to do is we are going to add or remove users. This button over here, we can select add or remove button, right? And now you can see that the differentiated category wise people are also here, right? So make it sure that this is actually based on the data, which we have enrolled into the course, right? You know that some other users are also there in the whole system, but it is not kind of Rohan and all there. We have seen it there in the site administration, but it is not here, right? Which means right, so which means actually it is enrolled. The group is actually going to implement especially for only for this students, right? So what happens here, we are, let us say for example, I'm going to select f name 1, f name 2, right? So yeah, just you can use the control key, f name 3, 4 and 5. I am selecting them to the IoT group, right? So this is the IoT group. I'm selecting them to the IoT group. Then I have added them, right? This is actually addition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First 5 users are there in the IoT group, right? Now we can move to the group, right? Back to the group, maybe page. Now you can see that IoT is enabled now, or with the 5 users. The group has 5 users. Even if you're clicking this electronic 0, nobody else is here. Nobody is here. Now what you can do is you can add. So we are going to select the the users, right? Again, we will discuss about because all users will be listed here, because grouping can be applied on top of any right. It doesn't mean that already if a user is grouped, it doesn't mean that that person won't be listed here, but it will be listing because it is the uniqueness of the group. Based on the requirement, we can discuss that. So as of now, what I'm planning to here is, right, so I'm just going to add the next right, so 5 candidates over here from 10 to 14. I'm going to add them into the next group. It is electronics. So we are just going to the group. Now we can have electronics has got 5 students, and IoT also has got 5 students. Right. So this is actually called as the concept of groups. Okay. It is the primary difference between groups and cohort is the system level one, and throughout the whole cohort will be available throughout the system. This group is actually independently for the especially only for this people, right? Especially only to this group, right? Especially we could say that it is it will be available only within that particular course. So this is exactly the difference over here, right? So what I'm coming to say you next, right? Probably I will be showing one of the examples, right? So one of the examples for this, right? What is the relevance of a group, right? So yeah, during yesterday's session, right? So I think Murugan sir has mapped some of the video tutorials, etc., over here in the content, right? This is what is it? It is a landing page of ICT Kerala, right? So it is embedded, right? It is embedded. It is a landing page. Then right. So some other documents related to the fundamentals of Python programming on the exercise category, etc. Some two documents are over here. So for our knowledge, what is the relevance of a grouping? What we are going to do is, let us assume that, right, I'm just going to turn edit on, right? So we know that we are good at actually managing the contents, etc., over here. I'm just going to edit this landing page here, right? Let me move to the settings. This is the landing page, and external URL is here. Everything, whatever it may be, it is here, right? So what you can do is, I think sir was also mentioned about the restriction access and all. What I'm going to do is, right, restrict access, just add a restriction to a group, right? So to a group must match the following condition, right? The group should be electronics, right? What we have mentioned now is, it should be, if it is a pupil, those who are from the restrict access is the primary requirement. We are going to block the group access request only until if it is actually they are from the electronics group, these people are only going to see the content. That is the primary aim. Now let us save it. Right now, let us save it. Now we can see that in the landing page itself, it is restricted, not available unless you belong to the electronics category. Right. So this is the information of what we have now. So likewise, what we are going to do is we are just going to edit the settings for the next item listed. So we are just going to add the restriction. It is for the group must match IoT. Then those who are from the IoT group can see the contents, right? So this is the case what we have seen. An interesting thing, say over here itself, what you can see at this point in time is, right, in the edit settings itself, if you are going to, right, say, yeah, here is right, an icon, right? This means it will be open, it will be, the link will be available for all users. Link will be displayed for all users, but a restriction will be there. If they are belong to a particular assigned category, then only they will be able to access the content. But they will get an idea that, yeah, if you were in the IoT group, you could have been accessed that, right? Some other link is there. If you wanted to hide that particular thing from the display option itself, because it is always it is relevant, because if you wanted to organize in a structured manner, right, all the contents in a very structured manner, it is always good to right, hide we wanted to display only the relevant contents to the people. In that case, we can add a restriction. That means it will be get hidden from others, right? It will be available only to the people, those who are from the IoT background, IoT group, right? Now we are saving this restricted, and that information, otherwise hidden kind of an information, is also here. Now, right, so the landing page is here, and we have our this thing also. What I'm coming to, what we are going to do now is, say, let me open a new window, right? So going to collect the details, right? So going to log in as a different user. Going to log in as a different user. Let me check the user credentials what we have. So let us join as a file name. This is the first username of a particular group which belongs to the IoT, maybe to the first level, which is none other than to the electronics category. I am selecting their password also. Right, let me join and let me log into the system. As this is actually by default, this is the terms of Moodle Cloud, right? It won't be there while we are installing, or why we have hosted our application, because it is again terms of use, etc., policies matter, right? As of now, as a first name, last name, we know that first name is the person who belongs to the category of electronics, right? Let me click on this, right? Let me click on this. You know that all the data, general data, are available here, right? Syllabus is available, this word is available, right? What you can do is, you can see in under the ICT Kerala section, you can see that landing page of ICT is restricted to me, being a person who is from the electronics background, right? Not unless, right? So this is actually, I am from the people. I am from the group, right? That means it is sorry. F name is actually under which category? F name one is not mentioned in any of the categories, it seems, right? 1 second. So sorry, electronics is actually F-name. If you, because F-name is in the IoT category, right? IoT category. So what you can do is, what you can see that it is actually visible for me, because yeah, being a member of IoT category, I am also, I can access the ICT Academy of Kerala. The second link I can access. The second link I can access. But I may not be, it is not possible for me to access the provided link for the other group, even though we are in the same course, right? So we are in the same course, but even though I don't have permission to access that. But that information is here, right? But I can access this, right? I can access this. But let us assume that I have logged in as a IoT member, right? I am just going to relog in as another person, right? Especially from F10 username. I'm just going to copy, right? F10 is here, right? Then password 1510 at 123, right? Password is also here. Yeah, let me log in. Now the difference, yeah, of course, I'll have to accept the terms. 1 second. I am selecting as the course which is available for me. Let me select that. And what we can do, what you can see under the ICT category, see, previously the ICT, the next link was also there. But in this case, the available, because the otherwise hidden was provided by us while we have configured the course, right? The course, right? So let me take that in the Python programming fundamentals of Python. What we did was, this is the restriction, not available unless you belongs to electronics, right? So this information is available for us. This information, this link at all, it is not available to us. It is just because we have provided, we have hidden that particular item from there, right? So now you can see that landing page of ICT of Kerala, that was the only thing, because I belong to the IoT category, which is actually visible to, which is not visible to me, because the landing page of ICT Kerala is the, I belong to the electronics group, and this is available for me for ICT. This information is not at all available to me under the ICT Kerala section, which means that within a particular group, within a particular course itself, we are able to create, or we are able to manage the users within that particular course based on the requirement. So this is the basic, the basics of grouping. This is the particular usage of grouping, and probably grouping is very essential sometimes based on the different activities. We may have to group the people inside our learning management, inside our course. So this is the data, this is the information, right? Please let me know, right? Even if it is confusing, probably we can have another set of demonstration, but even though, please let me know in case if it is clear for you all, please. Pin drop silence, right? So I think I might have confused you a lot, right? One thing. Otherwise, it is clear. So possibility of the chances to get it cleared in the first chance is bit difficult, but even though great, Divya ma'am, right? So thank you so much. If in case I just wanted to repeat, I can do that. Otherwise, please just give me a reply, right, saying either it is clear or no. Probably we can take we can plan accordingly, please.
Well, maybe we can use this grouping when we assign the projects within the same course. When we assign different projects to different groups, then we can use this.
Very true. Very true.
And one thing here, I will like from the previous session, I have a question. Like when we were when we were uploading the entries using the CSV file, is there any limit of the maximum data which we can upload, or maximum entries which we can upload at once?
Yeah, we have checked that because it is from a CSV file we are trying to upload. We have checked that because I wanted to, but even though chunks of 2000 was the maximum what we have enrolled, we had enrolled into the system. Chunks of 2000.
Well,
Even
2000 is big number, so that's like again, if the 2000 is a big number, the mistake I made, like in case if we are making the 100 batches and uploading it, and if I made a mistake in the 15th batch, and if I have to delete the whole thing, well, I think that there must be a workaround. I'll check it, and if I get to know, I'll also share that.
Please do that. As the only thing is actually we can re-upload that cohort again, right, if it is in the 15th.
That is the workaround.
Batch.
Like we have to delete it, and then that's the workaround. That's not actually what we wanted to do. We just want to change the the rule. Oh, and one update I would like to share with you. I think it's very important. Do you remember that on day 1 I shared free conference call? The app for the conferencing up to 1000.
Yeah.
Well, there's an update which I received just yesterday that they are going to stop the video conferencing and the file sharing from the October 8th. So I think that tool may not be, will be valuable after the 8th, because otherwise I have used that tool a lot.
No, okay. You have to keep that information. You have to keep Reggie informed about that.
Right.
Okay.
Actually, that was not open source, but they were offering as a free. So, and there was no information that how long they are going to offer it for free. So I shared it as a resource, like maybe used by.
Yeah, very true. Because everything is, because a number of tools are there, but even though it is actually a bit difficult actually to survive in the open source platform with a video conferencing platform and all. Right. Because a number of data, it's a storage, all those things are there, right? Until unless you are not Google, right? That's a big trouble, right? Even though Google is also charging nowadays because based on the plans, etc., right?
Well, we have open source tool available for that, as I told you on the day 1. But again, that is on the self hosting. It's not it's not on somebody else like Lark. It's I'm not sure if they offer the that recording and all.
Lark, Reggie is here, it seems, right? Does Reggie, what do you think? Whether in the recording is available in the Lark?
Yes, recording is available. They actually provide 300 GB space for everyone. So every meeting that we conduct will get recorded in our space.
Okay. And 350 is the participant limit. Right?
For the live, I think it is that. So for a group, we can add up to 5,000 members in a group. Okay. But from our educational point of view, we don't need that big number in a single group. Right. But it comes close to 50 or 60.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I think so, friends. Right, I would strongly hope that the group concept is clear. Right. So another case, what we wanted to do is what we just wanted to discuss now is See, there is something called as grouping also there, right? So don't get confused much, right? Especially in this terms and all, right? So there is something called as grouping. So what is all about grouping is, right? Say if it is collection of groups. That can be the definition for a grouping, right? I think I'm presenting now. So just you can click on users tab. You can click on groups. Now you can see a new grouping tab over here, right? A grouping. So if you wanted to create group of electronics people and our IoT people, right? Electronics and IoT. If you are trying to create a group of electronics and IoT people together, right? So let us see what happens now. Let's say as of now, we have a group, right? You can move to the edit option here, right? What you can do is, sorry, you can say as of now we have the group, right? So what you can do is so the groups available. You can click on that icon here, right? It is an icon. Show groups in grouping icon is here. Just click here, right? What you can do is instead of members, it will be listed only with the group names, right? Let us assume that we are selecting both the groups together as we discussed. Now what we are going to do is say as of now we have added them into the grouping of EI. Then we are just going to add this. Okay. So as of now, what you can see that grouping is EI. Groups available under this category are two other groups, right? We have our electronics and IoT groups, right? So you can also have an overview, right? What all the things which is happening there in the groupings, etc. You can see that there are two groups, right? Group members, the details are also here, right? Not in group. How many of them not in group? Much of people are not in any of the groups. They are independent, right? That means if we are adding a kind of a restriction to any of the places, this general category won't be able to see. Means teacher will be able to see, but about regarding the student, right? So they will not be able to see that particular thing, right? So that is the information which we wanted to share, right? More than that, if we are moving back, here we can see that if it is if we are again click on that particular thing, and say for example in day 3 we have how to programming kind of stuff is here, maybe a video content is here. If we wanted to restrict this with only with the people, right? Especially with some people, in that case we can add a restriction as we did. Instead of group, you can select grouping, choose grouping here, right? EI we have already created. Then we can save and return, right? So those who all are there in that category, especially either in the electronics background, electronics group, or in the IoT group, will be able to see this. Otherwise, let us assume that if you are from a general course, right? If you are just let me take randomly somebody else, right? So it is the 29. I am just going to log in as 29 here in the incognito mode, right? So let me log in as username as 29, and yeah, password is here. Password is fname 29 at 123, right? I'm a general user, right? As of now, I have joined this as a general user. I'm not a person belong to any of the groups available in the system. Any of the groups available in the system, right? So in that case, what happens? Let us see whether what is the kind of restrictions available now. Say now you can see that this is the course which I have, which is enrolled to me. right? Then you can see that say day 3, right? Day 3, say day how to programming ICT, what to say? Yeah, not available unless you belong to group 1, right? So that means it is a restricted for, again, it is a section wise restriction. 1 second, let me change that once again over here. This is the editing category where we will have to add, right? One thing, right? Must be a member of this group, right? So let me refresh with that. Oh, sorry. This is again, it is a section content itself, right? So 1 second. It is in this section. It is added as a not available unless you belongs to group EI to programming. Because again, the content itself is available in the public mode, right? So let me change this into another direct. Maybe it is already available over there in the content in the description itself. Let me add that restriction to hidden content, maybe which is a clickable content over here. It is restricted. Programming is restricted to EI group. Now let me refresh the page. Now you can see that this is not accessible to me, right? This content is not available to me, right? So this is the concept of grouping, right? Especially on top of, right? Say especially on based on group collection of groups are there as for our grouping. So both are important instead, right? If you wanted to provide maybe a system-wise, right? If you wanted to provide a system-wise restrictions, if you wanted to add certain system-wise restrictions, it will be always great to go for something like that called as grouping. Right. As of now, what I am coming to say is, say this is again what we have seen the first day. It is mind map, right? So we have maybe students of 50 students we have, right? Students we have. Instead of 50 students, 25 are from engineering category. Another 25 are from non-engineering category. Okay, so we are going to arrange a training program for this students, right? So if it is actually product development, let us take an example. If we are planning to have a session on product development, if it is actually a product development, we will have some 20 students from or 15 students from engineering and or otherwise leave it all the students, right? All the students from non-engineering and engineering should attend this course, product development, right? Another cases we have a training on research. We have a training on research. In that case, research methodologies and all, right? Research methodologies. In that case, we need some people, right? We have total strength. We have 30 students needs to attend this case. 30 students needs to attend the research method or methodology. It can be a blend of engineering and non-engineering. Means this students may be from, right, so 30 students, these students may be from engineering and non-engineering, but they'll have to attend the research methodology. Product development, all the people need to attend this product development. Research methodology, it should be a pure blend, right? So this is a scenario, right? Again, it is a real-time requirement which we have. Of course, again, it is much bigger than that, this. But even though we have explored, this is the kind of requirement what we have explored, right? Here is a suggestion, right? I just wanted to hear from you, right? I'll be showing this as in the screen, right? If based on the things what we have learned so far, can you suggest a method actually for that? Probably I can edit. I can do the editing over here itself. If you can provide, we as of now, this is actually related to the students. 50 users are there, right? Requirement is they are belong to either to engineering, non-engineering, etc., etc. So for the student management, the effective management of the users, we have explored the features of cohort as well as the group and grouping, right? Based on that particular learning, do you have a suggestion? These people should be enrolled into a single course, right? And we need to manage them effectively, right? So yeah, based on your learning, happy to have discussions, debates, etc. So please open, right? It will be great, right? If you can open up your right videos and all, right? Come up with your discussions. Thus, we can make this requirement as an interactive one, right? Please. Trust everybody is there in the WhatsApp group. Probably I will request any of the hosts to yeah, upload that my map over there in the WhatsApp group for your reference, right? 1 second. Yeah, I have requested, so probably it will be reaching to you in another. Yeah, it will be reaching to you in another 2 to 3 minutes, right? Please, what I'm coming to say is, please explore that, right? If you can suggest, probably if you can suggest a good maybe solution over here itself, right? So over here itself, I think Reggie will be issuing a badge to the person, right? Requesting Reggie to issue a badge to the solution provider through Pathshala in that case. Yeah, Kishore sir is saying enroll 50 students and create group as per map. Yeah, enroll. Yeah, which method, right, sir? Which one? Either enroll them as blindly as right? Maybe. So do we need to use cohort for the same, or do we need to have something else? Yeah, anybody, right? So what about others, right? Cohort and make groups such as yeah, engineering and non-engineering. Yeah, Sandeep sir.
Yeah,
Please.
well, first of all, we need to enroll all 50 students using the cohort, which is because they all are like from the college, like, or from a particular batch, we can say year wise, in a particular 1 year. So we are creating a cohort of one particular year for all 50 students and enrolling them in that particular course. Out of those 50 students, we are creating two groups, two particular groups, engineering and non-engineering. So now if we have to send any message, if we have to enroll in any activity, so or any we can say any what do you call section, if we have to show them, so we can restrict as per the grouping or as per the messaging. Even if we have to if there is any material which is we have to share in both groups, we can mention, well, we can add both groups in that particular section, so they will have access, or we can simply you know, like avoid that particular restriction. And apart from those two groups, we can create a third group there, which is of total 30 people, which will be of combination of engineering and non-engineering, which is the methodology, like the third group which was there for the research methodology, where we need 30. So we can again create another group, because I have checked that one person can be part of two or multiple, like one or more than one groups. So any yeah, so with that, or if we have to send you know, that any communication to everyone, then instead of using the groups, instead we do not use the grouping at all, or we do not simply put any restriction. Grouping can be used to put the restriction, but if we have to send that particular communication to everyone, then instead of using the group, don't use the group. It will automatically go to everyone.
Yeah, very true. But the problem is actually, see, if you are once you have developed the contents, right? So you have hosted it, right? If you wanted to add some restrictions, because some other batches will be also coming up, right?
Right.
So section wise, if you wanted,
yes,
Exactly.
And we can
Exactly.
also create groupings of group. Like one is group,
Yeah.
group is people of group, grouping is group of groups.
Very true.
So if there is any
Wow.
activity which we have to perform on multiple groups, so instead of putting that restriction on particular groups, we can create grouping and put that restriction simply on that particular grouping instead of doing it manually.
Okay. Very true. Very true. Yeah. Yeah. Again. I request. See, Kishore sir, actually, you can come up and discuss what is we are learning, right? Enroll 50 student and create group as per the map. Kishore sir, comes up, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, are you hear me,
We
sir?
just wanted to hear from you, right? Yeah, we can. You can open up your video also, right? We just wanted to, right?
No video is there. Okay, sir. I'll talk with. Okay, sir. Actually,
Yeah, no issues.
yeah, sir. Actually, as per our map now, so group and grouping, two facilities are available to us. So it is very important, the basic data, the students enrollment. So you either enroll the students, 50 students, and form the groups of 50 students into the non-engineering and engineering. That is the one way. Otherwise, form upload the CSV file directly of engineering and non-engineering students, and then you go for the group and then go for the grouping also. Is it okay, sir?
Yeah, that means we will be enrolling all the people maybe into an engineering and non-engineering kind of a cohort differentiation will be there.
Right.
Okay. No, that may not be possible.
Okay.
Because we will be enrolling the student, right? See, system level enrollment is happening for the course,
Okay.
right? Once we have mapped the engineering and non-engineering students into a course,
Okay.
right? There will be full access for that particular two cohorts throughout that particular course.
Right.
We will not be able to add any of the restrictions based on you are supposed to watch only this video or that video kind of a thing.
Okay.
Right. In that case, it is always great to do that particularly, especially based on the grouping itself is really good in that case.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kishore.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, Divya ma'am, wanted to hear from you, please.
My idea is also the same. Enroll the 50 students with cohort, then categorize them to engineering and non-engineering groups. That is, create groups. Then, according to our requirement, enroll them to, if we want to product categorization, then enroll the engineering students that way. If
as well as the non-engineering.
But I am not clarified with the third category, how to combine.
That session, right?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. What about research? Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Research that I am not able to clarify, but based on 30 students we need now from both category. How can we accommodate that 30? I am not clear. But if we want both categories, that is engineering and non-engineering, we can create a grouping based on both groups, and we can accommodate 50 students into that group, that particular category. if we need a particular category only, that is, if we need to enroll them into a particular course or material, engineering category only, then that engineering group can be inserted to that particular course, not course, but material.
Into the section. So in addition, let me say an addition. If it is, see, that's what actually even Sandeep sir was mentioning. There is no restriction of creation of groups, right? If it is your first group is engineering and non-engineering with some 25, then if you wanted to create another group with a 30 of a pure blend of engineering and non-engineering, that means you can have another group, right? It is actually called as research methodology, right? If you have a section for that particular group, you can assign, you can assign them to that particular research method.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Divya, is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear.
Right. So yeah, Sridevi ma'am, right. So she's a cohort for product development and group for research methodology. Can you please share your views, please, ma'am? Sridevi, miss, is it not audible? Yeah, please.
Sir, is it audible?
Yeah, it is clear now. Yeah, please.
Sir, I think we can group using cohort 25 non-engineering and 25 engineering students. And then we can use grouping for product development. In product development, we can add those two cohorts, and in research methodology, we can group the required students.
Yeah, okay. I think in addition, because, you know, see, even if we have added them as a, maybe, right, as a, if we have added them as a cohort, we will not be able to enable some student level or group level restrictions to that particular thing, because cohort is a system-wide thing. Right. In this case, what we can do is we can the solution to the problem what we have raised at this point in time is, see, none other than group and grouping are the possible methods. Right. Group and grouping, not cohort. Right. Cohort can be there to identify that how many of them are joining. The 50 students cohort is required. It will be good to identify that how many of them are going to attend the sessions directly. Right. So another case is, right, for the research methodology. Sorry, I'm discussing about the 50. Let me share the screen once again. Say what can be the solution is, say we are enrolling this students as a cohort. Enrolling this 50 students as a cohort to identify them or to differentiate them at system level. What then, once they are here in the course, inside the course, we will be dividing them or creating an engineering group, a non-engineering group. Here, if you have a product development section, right, no need of something else, right? It is actually they are already there, as we have both the people need to attend engineering and non-engineering, right? In that case, we don't want to create another group. But instead of that, what we can do is we can map 25 engineering and 25 non-engineering. Restrictions can be added to these two groups, right? Only to these two groups, right? They will be able to see the content likewise. That means, or if you are sure that there are nobody else is there in the course, right? Only this 50 students are only there in that particular group or maybe course, right? In that case, we can open it up, right? There is no need of any restrictions because only 50 students are there. At anyhow, they will be able to see this product. No restrictions need to be added, right? But another case is research methodology. Research methodology for selecting the 30 students, as Divya ma'am was mentioning that there is a lack of clarity in that. What is it? It is actually we can select the 10 students from non-engineering and 20 students from the engineering batch, and we can probably we can call them as a RM category, right? RM category, and we can add them into the research methodology category, right? Into the add a restriction as a research methodology case, right? So what we are say just as of now, what we are going to demonstrate is say now you can see that this is actually restrictions of electronics, only to electronics, right? If we have some other 30 people also remaining in the, or 40 people are also remaining in the student group. Right, let us assume that if this thing which you wanted to show, our product management case, okay, if you wanted to show only to the group of engineering and non-engineering, here it is, right, electronics and IoT, we are just again going to add another restriction. It is not restricted with this, right? Right here also you can go for another restriction. Again, we could say that it is group. We are going to select any group. Instead, we are going to say that it is IoT group, right? That means in that case, we can add any number of restrictions in this format. If you wanted to hide, you can do that also. We can save it, right? So that means now it is listed here. Now we can clear that this data, this link or section will be available, or link will be access of this page will be available only to the people, those who are belongs to electronics category or IoT category, right? So that is the necessity, real-time requirements of the case, right? You may be wondering that sometimes, right, to say we may have to group the people based on the courses, etc., etc. But in case, if let us assume that in our colleges, right, say in BSc Maths session itself, we do have a differentiation called as, maybe we can have Malayalam as a second language, or Hindi as a second language, right? In that case, but the major cohort is actually our major group, that is Maths, as what we have created today, right? But we may have our this thing, right? So Malayalam second language and maybe Hindi as a second language. In that case, it is always great if you can have cohort itself, because if this Malayalam or chemistry, Malayalam people and Hindi people are not going to enroll to a single course, right? They are not going to a single course until unless it is not their subjects, their own subjects. If mathematics paper, of course it can be, if it can be a single cohort of 50 students. But let us assume that there is a English paper, a Hindi paper. Maybe 20 or 30 might have selected Hindi as second language. In that case, for the Hindi course, we may have to enroll 30 students from maths department. Only 20 students to the Malayalam department, Malayalam courses, right? Kind of a real-time requirement will be there once you are going to deal with the data at the institution level. Okay. Please be clear on that. That is another case which we wanted to also have to discuss, right? So again, another important information, data which we wanted to share at this point in time is, right? We do have the facility actually to perform, right? To say we do have the facility actually to perform the group level group uploadings also using CSV files, right? So using CSV files. What are the details needed? Password is not needed, email is not needed. Let us delete all those things, right? Here we are going to create, instead of this thing, we are just going to create, we are just going to say that we are just going to create a group 1. Right, say group 1. We are just going to say that they are into maybe into the research methodology group. First, this much of people are into the RM group, RM research methodology group, and this people are going for the product development group. Right, this much of people are there for the product development. We are just going to change the group name here, right? Then what we are going to do is we need a short name of the course also, to which course we are insisting them. That information also need to be shared, right? Now let us take the short name of the course. What we have is this is our
FP
course, and what is it?
FP, FP on the top.
On the top, it is FP, right? Yeah. Okay. So details of the course, right? It is what to say? What to say? It is. I need to check that 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I had a actually doubt related to the header file. So let me check that 1 second. So again, it is no doubt it is course 1 itself, right? This is actually, it is to identify to which course we are going to create the group, right? So what is the concept at this point in time we have is, right, we are just going to trying to create the group for the existing users. What are the existing users? It is there with the username, right? I am just create this as a group. Right, again, it should be in the CSV format, right? So just save it. Now you can see that it is course group, username and group 1 and course name is here. Fine, great, great to go, right? It is, yeah, it is available as a CSV, right? Yeah, it is available as a CSV file. Now what we are going to do is, we are just going to try out the same, right? So we are just going to try out the same this thing, right? So same in the sense, so same user upload we are just going to perform at the system site administration level, not to in the course level, because of course there is no bulk upload option available there. what we are going to do is we are just going to select the users as we did. We are just going to add our maybe again say bulk user and yeah, upload users. We are just going to select upload users. We are going to select the same users, right, based on the what we have enrolled, right, because it is just because it is already available there. If you wanted to create the users with the group, right, in the bulk upload itself, you can add a group one column and you can add. Okay, if otherwise, this is the second time. So what I have selected the CSV file, right? I am just trying to upload this, right? Group CSV, upload users, right? Here course one is FP, RM is the research methodology kind of a differentiation we have. Right, here is one thing what we need to remember here is, right, update existing users only is the comment which we wanted to update. That means existing users. We are not going to, we are planned to add a new user. We are going to update existing users. Existing users we have, right? We are just going to add them, saying they are also belongs to another group also, kind of an information. It is a kind of an amendment, right? That needs to be right taken, right, at this point in time. Now we have uploaded. We are going to try this, right? We can see that, see towards the end. Yeah, of course, we don't have zero users. User level, there is no update. There is no errors also. You can continue, right? So what you can do now is we can move to the home page. Now we can select our course, right? Just select the users from here. Now you can move to the groups, right? Great job. This is product development 30 and product the research methodology 30 people are here, right? So this is the way of performing bulk upload also from the users from the users point, right, from the administration level. Only we'll be sharing. It is actually only one thing need to be noted is actually we have to update the user, right? In case if you are planning to, right, add the group name over here also, you can at the time of creation also you can add a group of one over here, and you can add the group names below based on the candidates, right? So the type of candidates, right? You can add the group name also here. In that case, we may have to add directly. So that is the important thing. If it is second time, we may have to do it like that. So the advantage is whenever in the ongoing phase, if you wanted to take the call back, right? If you wanted to take the control of the whole system, it is always great if you can take the kind of an action, right? So yeah, is it clear? See, apart from what we can do with the group and grouping, what we have learned as an extra thing is none other than we can have one more thing, which is called as, maybe an uploading option of grouping is also there. Is it, see, of course, you may have to try it out. Probably you can do it later. If it is, if the concept is clear, please just give me a yes or no, so that we can move to the, we have one more discussion pending, so we can move to the next topic, please. Is it fine to go to the next level? Is it fine, or is it clear? Thank you, SV sir. What about others? Maybe. Is it just so hungry? Right. So nobody is responding. Can I get a yes or no? Or whether probably is it clear so that we can move to the next topic?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Sir, is it possible to create column heading as group 1 in the same CSV file, and we can upload it?
At the time of cohort upload itself. Yeah. At the time of first user creation itself, we can do that. We'll have to.
Okay. And then group 1 can be electronics. And
Yeah.
we have to create other group 2 also for IoT.
Yeah, we can have group of. No, in the group 1 category itself, you can differentiate. This person belongs to group 1,
okay.
right? Maybe electronics, or these people belongs to group 2. In case, as we said, research methodology case, right?
Yeah.
We had it was actually blend of 2 groups, right? So some 30, 15 from one place and 15 from another place, right? In that case, what we need to do is, right, it is better to perform a re-upload operation, because it is just a 30. Only their username is required for making that particular amendment. In that case, we will get a new group saying these 30 people also belong to one more group. Kind of an information will be available.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Is that right? Yeah, SV sir. We can assign. That's what. Yeah, great. We can assign. Yeah, one student to any number of groups. No doubt. Yeah, so I'm continuing with the discussion. In case of any doubts, probably I'm passing the session to Ashwati, right? So Ashwati, you will be in trouble. Okay. So in case, right, in case of any doubts, probably they will be asking maybe during the post-lunch session. Right. So I have one more topic to discuss. It is very relevant. It is very important. It is called as gradebook setup. Right, gradebook, how to set up a gradebook, which is actually again an interesting topic, right? So because let me first fix the context. Why do we wanted to have a gradebook, right? So we know that gradebook is right. See, at the outset, probably if you can have all your internal marks, or maybe by downloading this, right? By downloading a gradebook. It is really great, right? So that is the advantage, right? If you can plan your activities of that particular course, ideally. So you know that a course in Moodle, if it is in the academia perspective, is none other than your subject, right? In the academia perspective, it is your subject. If you are dealing with, maybe a course, right, like Python programming, it may be a program subject for BSc Maths, Physics, etc., etc. Right. Maybe a mandatory kind of subject for everybody, right? So if you are managing your activities, maybe throughout activities are actually right distributed throughout an year, right? If it is actually distributed maybe for an year or as for a semester, probably we can collect and maybe collect all the details at a single place. So that is the advantage of having our maybe grade book, right? So how to select the grade books and all, right? As of now, we know that we are here, right? So we can move to the see grade book setup option is here, right? In the settings tab, we can say that there is a grade book setup. You can click on that, right? Initially, this is the setup phase. So what is the advantage? How programming, if you are say so some items are listed, So whatever may be the activities or items which we are using, right? If it is available as an activity, it will be automatically get listed here. We have added an H5P contact over here as an activity. Probably because it is available as an activity, probably again whatever may be the things which we are adding there will be listed over here automatically. That means if you wanted to make an assessment on top of that particular activity, what can be called as an activity, right? If you are sir was mentioning about the activities and all. If we are taking the feedback from the students, either it can be an assignment, either it can be a test, maybe a quiz, etc., etc., right? If you are collecting a feedback, right, if you are going to provide a weight, right, a mark based on their assignment evaluation, right? So that comes up into the picture, right? So it is called as an activity. So what we need to do is, normally what happens, right? Whenever we are going to start a semester, there will be a curriculum, right? So distribution of marks and everything will be there. Internal marks and everything will be provided, right? The guidelines for providing, creating that will be there. Right. So what we can do is, initially we can create that as a category here. Right. So the first category which I am going to create now is, it is assignment category. Assignment. Right. So we are going to create this. It is in the default. By default, it is right. It is aggregation and all. You can leave that part now. Right. So
can you
wait.
Can you? I'm sorry. Can you show us the navigation again to the category? I'm sorry. Actually, I missed it.
Yeah, you can take that from the settings button over here, right? In the settings button, gradebook settings.
Okay.
Right, clear, right? From the gradebook setup is there in that list box, right?
Right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So then what we are going to do is, we are just going to create maybe a category of maybe 100 marks itself. As of now, we are going with the assignment is a category for us. Assignment. If all the assignments which you are planning for this semester can be mapped to this, as of now, it is assignment is available as a category. We are going to add another category called as maybe, yeah, we are just going to add another category called as quizzes. Right. So yeah, category total parent category is not there. Again, it is an independent category. We are going to create another category called as quizzes. So the advantage now, you can see that here we have see 100 marks in total, right? So it is all about one is for assignment, and another one is actually for, we can provide the weightage later, leave that part as such. Now another one more category we are going to add. It is for maybe let us take an example of project works, right? Projects. So it is another category what is we have created for projects. So one more category we are going to create. It is for maybe exams. So as of now, what we have is, actually we have right. So we have 4 categories over here. So assignment category, assignment total is here. What we are going to do is, we are just going to give weightage for that. Assignment, we have 20 weightage, right? So what we are going to do is, we are just going to add a weightage for 20 marks, right? That means if anything which comes under this category, assignment, you might you will be evaluating the score and everything out, maybe out of maybe n number of assignments will be there. But at the outset, we need that assignment, all the assignment marks, to get converted into a weight of into a scale of 20, right? So of course, internal mark wise, if you are calculating, the maximum marks can be 20. So how many number of assignments, even if you have assigned, is not going to be a big concern. But at the outset, everything needs to be converted into the weighted average of this thing, which is called as 20. So Qs, right? As of now, we have 20 plus 20. Then we are going to create this over here, right? So the weights, your weights has been adjusted to total of 100, right? It is a total of 100. It should be always to be, it should be always to be 100 within the 100. And probably what we can see here is, right, say, again, it is within this category, right? Within this normal category, probably we can distribute the internal marks into 100 marks, into 100. So if you are taking a view of the same, you can see that all the people, all the maybe people, participants, students of this course are listed here. You can see that project total, assignment total, a kind of a category wise, exam wise, course total will be available. And once it is done, right, probably we have added all the details, right? This is actually out of bounds because it is already created, right? If you wanted to create, if you wanted to grade of a person, right, first name, because his distribution of mark, if you wanted to create that, right, even if it is actually single thing also you can do for an expert, right? Of course, right, if it is based on the setup checklist and all, we can export everything, right? So if you are going for the right, so the whole grades, right, the whole grades, right, we can also have, one second. This is the case. Let us assume that this is the overall view of all participants, right? So, one second. All users. Instead of one, we can have all users, scores and everything in this format. We can do the export also. Export facility also is here. Even if you wanted to have the grader report of individuals, we can click on this. Individual report are also available, right? So even now let us see that H5P is already there, right? I am just going to select that H5P content, right? H5P content is listed somewhere here, right? This is the H5P receive a grade, right? So what is I'm going to say? I'm just going to edit this H5P, and I am grade option uncategorized. I'm just going to map this item as an assignment now, right? As an assignment. So whatever it may be, or maybe quiz. Let us assume that there is an interactive question. In that case, if you wanted to mark this into inside quizzes, right? So what will happen is, right now you can move to the right grades of that particular course. Now you can see that if you are taking the assignment quizzes, one item is listing, right? Likewise, you will be exploring more on the activity side from today afternoon onwards. So how many of the things which we are mapping over here, it will get automatically. It was earlier, it was here, it was not mapped to any of the categories, but now you can see that it is mapped to a category, and probably you will be able to extract the total score, right? So you can see that this is the advantage of Moodle. Probably this is overall level of still the administration level what we have explored. Hereafter, probably we'll be going to deal only with the course contents, especially to activities, to how to deal with the things, right? Probably this can be an end for the administration cases, right? So probably in the afternoon session, assignment we will be exploring. Shruti will add the assignment into this category of assignments. You can also check the assignment total, right, based on attempting the sessions and all. Probably you will be able to get the marks once it is created. Your marks and everything will be listed here, right? So this is the advantage of having grade book setup. Initially, it is always great if we can set the grade book as per the criteria provided. Once it is set, probably we can map all the activities, any number of activities into inside that particular category, and it will be easier for us to take the report finally, right? So please practice the same. Again, of course, we are, it is not easy to follow up sometimes, but even though if you can practice, it is nothing like it. It will be really great, right? So thank you so much again, right? So yeah, of course, again, I have 10 minutes more. In case of any doubts, probably we can discuss. Please share your views, your discussions. If you want to initiate, please do that. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you all.
Dear participants, if you have any doubts, you can ask now.
Well, Shrikant sir, in the like in today's topic, there is one more topic which is send messages and notifications. Can you just add few lines on? I think it should not be very difficult to send messages and notifications. If you can please put some light on it.
I think so. It is all about sending the message, right? So the see notifications and all. It is it is already enabled with the actions, right? Notifications, right? Once if you have set an action, probably, right? See, I can let me show that 1 second. Yeah. Fine. So regarding this, this is within group or within. It is actually a chat enabling facilities sending communications, right? So here you can see that in the window itself, here is we have a message and notification toggle is also here, right? You can move to the settings button, right? Disable notification, or if you wanted to, right, say if you wanted to disable all the notifications, it will get disabled. Otherwise, the standard one will be there, right? So if you wanted to remind people through online and offline or email, right, that facility is here, right? So right, in the case, if it is email related, then processor settings, all those details, right? Plain text format. In that case, what is actually the email format needs to be maintained. All those details. If it is actually pretty HTML format, is also we can send the data saying if it needs to be forwarded in the form of text format, that can be done. If it is web offline, right? If it is they are accessing the web, if you wanted to say a message, right? So we can enable that. If you are there into the learning management system, and if you wanted to say provide the details of this, right? That can be provided. That can be there, right? As asynchronous backup restore. So badge creation notification, the email, right? Badge receipt notification, all those details, right? It is actually kind of a setting, right? Based on the settings we can have, right? All the actions can be taken, or it can be get initiated from this phase. So that is all about notifications. Then sending, right, FTP. If this is actually I'm available, right? Communication is actually, if any of the people, those who are here online, probably we will be able to send communications, or we can chat. We can add people over here, those who are no private conversation anymore, right? So add a chat. If it is based on the availability, probably we can
So it means that we cannot send like any within the Moodle, we will not be able to send offline message like as we do it in any other messaging app. We send a message and the person reads it whenever they are available. So that is not possible. Like if the person is online, then only we can do the messaging. Is that the case?
Yeah, I think once we have established the communication, then probably we will be able to make it offline. Sending also will be there, right? So I think that is also possible because once they are active, actually they are some active users probably will be able to do that. Even say I can show you the
Right. Well, here it is
our
showing the
rules.
groups as well. But when we go in
Yes.
our site administration messaging, it is not showing any group.
Okay. That means one second. I'll be showing that one thing, right? So 1 second.
Well, I think messaging access should be also on on the
Enabled,
organization level
right?
and within the course level as well. There should be restriction
Yeah, it
because
is in the dashboard. This is actually our Pathshala dashboard. Now
okay.
you can see that notifications are here, right?
Mhm.
Video engaging, deadline kind of thing, right? 7 online users are here now, right? If you wanted to access, right? If you wanted to chat with the, right? Nothing like it, right? You probably we can click and probably we will be able to chat, right? So this is one of our colleagues, right? So even you can open up the chat window and probably you will be able to mm, communicate, right? So see, John is online, add to contact, probably you will be able to write a message, right? We can extract the contacts also, right? Even private chat is also available. Yeah, once you have enabled all those details, right, based on the availability, probably I think we'll get the replace and all, right? Yeah, Reggie is here. See, Reggie is. I have got a request from Reggie. Yeah, John is also replying back, right? So yeah, I got a message. It was actually offline message. It was right. So I'm getting the reply, right? Yeah. Wanted to add something, Reggie, apart from that? Reggie or Ashwati, wanted to add anything?
I think this is fine, Srikanth. We will discuss the rest of the things in the afternoon session. One question that he was asking is about the offline message. Offline message is possible. If you don't see anyone online, you send a message, it will be delivered once the other person logged in. That facility is there.
Well, but in that case, I'm not like in my Moodle cloud, I'm not finding anyone to send message.
Since you haven't added any users right now, right?
We have added the user.
You have added, right?
Like I have like from the
You
same
have
file.
added, right?
Yeah, from the same file upload, I have added 50 users in there.
Yeah, but you haven't logged in using any of their credentials, right? Any of
Right.
users, if you try to log in from a different browser, you try incognito mode or from another machine or in the same machine. So you log in, you could able to see other users. Otherwise, you send one message to one of the users, log out and log in of that user, and you could able to see the message that you sent.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, please, friends, please practice and let us know in case of any further clarifications or doubts regarding this. So yeah, of course, again, this is something highly required because user management is very effective. Then till the administration level activities are very important because role assignment, engagement, etc., everything is connected with that. So now please practice the same. In case, please let us know and get in touch. Otherwise, thank you so much. So over to you, Indu ma'am, or who else is here?
Excuse
So,
me.
thank you. Marvin, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, thanks to Dr. SREEKANTH for the nice presentation. Okay, so Farah, you can carry on.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Marvin, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a fruitful session. And let me take the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to our resource person, Dr. SREEKANTH. Sir explained each concept twice and thrice times, and so that is so much clear to us, sir. Now we are ready to enroll students into course, enroll teachers into course, and more about gradebook setup and how to create groups and cohorts and so on. Thank you so much, sir, for such an informative session. I will take this opportunity to express sincere gratitude to you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, participants. That's our session 8. We will begin our next session, session 9 at 2 p.m. after lunch. In session 9, Moodle activity assignments will be the core area of the discussion, and the resource person is Ms. Ashwari Goban, ICT Academy. Dear participants, please note, rejoin at 2 p.m. Thank you. Let us leave for lunch. Thank you.
Thank you all.